TCC also would really like to honor the fallen troopers, and I'd like to give you a little more information about these fine gentlemen that served in our villages. Sergeant Scott Johnson was born in Fairbanks and grew up in Tok. Johnson joined the North Slope Borough Police in 1991, and in 1993 he joined the Alaska State Troopers. He served his entire 20-year trooper career in Fairbanks, working as a patrol officer, investigator. He was a field training officer, a canine officer, an instructor, canine unit supervisor, supervisor of the Fairbanks area-wide narcotics team, patrol shift supervisor, and was assistant team leader in the Northern Special Emergency Reaction Team. And finally, he was a rural unit sergeant. Scott Johnson was survived by his wife, Brandy, daughters, Haley, Hannah, and Helene, his parents, Bud and Pam Johnson, siblings Brian and Sean Johnson. Trooper Gabriel Rich was born in Pennsylvania and moved to Fairbanks shortly after his birth. He's a graduate of Lathrop High School. He spent 4 years working as a patrolman with the North Pole Police Department before joining the Alaska State Troopers in 2011. Trooper Rich worked in the Fairbanks Patrol for the majority of his 3.5 years as a trooper, and then he moved to the rural unit in November 2013. He's survived by his fiancée, Angie, sons Lennox and Malachi, and parents Dave and Patty Rich. I had the privilege of working with these gentlemen on a few calls and traveling out to our villages and planning for public safety services in our region. I specifically remember flying to Huslia. It's a long flight, it's a couple hours flight in a trooper caravan with them. And on the way out there, they talked a lot about their families. And they talked a lot about hunting with their families. And I just want to say from my experience working with them, watching how they served the people of our region in really difficult situations. They served our people with respect and integrity and dedication. And while these troopers were great troopers, they were even better men. And so I just ask that you'll join me in honoring their families who are here with us today. Scott's parents, Pam and Bud Johnson, if you would please come forward. We also have planned an honor song in honor of their families and these men's service. We'll just take a moment of silence in memory of the fallen. Pam, Bud, our thoughts and prayers will continually be with you. And we thank you for raising such a good son, serving our people.
And our thoughts are with you, Jody.
We'd also like to bring up the Fairbanks-based troopers, if you could please come forward. Captain Barrick, Lieutenant Piscoya, who was the supervisor of the Fairbanks Rural Unit, and Sergeant Johnson's replacement in the rural unit, Sergeant Mike Roberts. In recognition of the service that our troopers provide to our villages, I just want to
These heroes will never be forgotten. They'll always be remembered and loved. Their families will be respected. And our community of Native people will always honor them as true fallen heroes. And I just really want to say to their families that they're loved. They'll always be loved. We know that there is a God that watches over every one of us, and He will always take care of all of us, no matter who we are and where we are. So on behalf of our people in the interior here, we just want to thank every single police officer, trooper, VPSO, public safety, for everything that you do to protect our families and for keeping them safe and for always being there when we need you. Anabasi, from my heart to yours. And I just really want to say I love you guys so much. And I really appreciate everything that you do for us. Anabasi.
We had a drummer. Is our drummer here for the honor
You
song?
don't need a song. You
No?
don't need a drum. Just bring them up.
Okay. Bring up the,
I'll bring them up.
okay.
I'll do it.
Okay.
We're going to have a memorial song.
Where's the parents?
The parents are back here.
If they could come down here too.
Ask the parents to come back up.
Would the families of the fallen troopers please come forward?
Please.
They're going to stand up here. This song was made by our grandpa Peter John in Minto. He made it for a lady that lost her brother. And the words in there is that this brother left good memories. He left all these memories behind, all the love that they had shared. And we feel the same way in this song, speaking of our brothers that we've lost. They gave their life for us, for the state, And we feel that love and respect for all who try to protect us.
The community of Tanana have a gift they'd like to give at this time. Is Donna Mae Folger here, the mayor of Tanana, and the chief of Tanana, Curtis Summer.
Captain Barrett, could you come up to the stage, please? Do I start it off? Huh? Say something? You know, being on the governing body for our tribe, when this terrible thing happened in our village, you know, it's easy to say what you want to say about the troopers and stuff when we take our moose out of season, fish out of season to put food on our table. But when there are moments of violence in our villages, when there are moments of terror, when you don't know what's going to go on, you call on these troopers, you call on the VPSOs, you call on anyone for help. You know the feeling of relief when they show up, and you know everything is going to be all right because they are there. I only wish that this never happened anywhere, because I know so many of us support them, and they have dangerous professions, and like Sergeant Potts said, you know, they want to go home to their families also. And, you know, I'd like to say it gives me great pleasure, but, you know, it's with real humility that on behalf of my tribe that we present just these tokens of our appreciation. That's all we can do to give these men and women the honor that they deserve for what they do to protect us, all of us. And I'd like to present this to Captain Barrick on behalf of my tribe. And Donna?
On the behalf of the city of Tanana also, we want to express our grief for what had happened in our village to the troopers, to the people that we depend on to help keep us safe. All I could say, it was chaos. It was total chaos. And for everybody who was there to hear and witness all this happen to our troopers in our community. These troopers were starting to get to know our kids and play with them. So on behalf of the city and the tribe of Tanana, Captain Barrick, I want to say that we're sorry. I hope this never, ever happens again. And I want to thank Dana for making this sun catcher on behalf of our village. She happened to be one of the first responders to respond. So just on behalf of us, we want to say we're sorry. He's going to hang that in his trooper's office here in Fairbanks, Anabasi.
Thank you, everyone. As the detachment commander of Scott Johnson and Gabe Rich, I accept this kind gift, and we'll hang it in a place of honor in our building. I want everybody to understand that maybe you don't know that almost a year ago to the day, Scott Johnson was instrumental in planning a community outreach program for Tanana. It started in Tanana. And what it was is it involved the Alaska State Troopers, the village public safety officers, adult and juvenile probation officers, the FBI, and the U.S. Marshals. And we flew out into several villages, Ruby, Kayakuk, Nulato, Kaltag, and it started in Tanana. And the purpose for the visit was to meet with kids, talk to them about careers in law enforcement, talk to them about making good life choices, and let them see us as somebody other than the people who come to take other people away. And I want you to know that Scott Johnson was instrumental in organizing that and putting that effort together, and we had a lot of real positive feedback. And so that's how I'd like everybody to know that about Scott. And he personally recruited Gabe Rich to the rural unit because they both enjoyed that kind of law enforcement. So in their memory, thank you.
To the families of Scott Johnson, Gabriel Rich, our hearts go out to you. There is no bigger sacrifice than the lives that they gave. Whether it's VPSO, Fairbanks Police, state troopers, they don't run from a burning house, they run to it. Always willing to give the ultimate sacrifice, not wanting to, but willing to do it. For us, from us, to you, we do hope that this never happens. But at the same time, we give you thanks for the job that you do to protect our families, our friends, our communities, our tribes, all at once. On a bus seat. Let's give them a standing ovation.